New year, new you. Hey, you can't fight it. January 1st turns the calendar page, and even though it's just another day, just another year, there's something about it, some energy, some do-overness. Is that a word? It should be. Do-overness that happens, that it's an excitement that captures people. And you're wondering, can I actually be a new me in this new year? New year, new you. Well, let's figure it out.
Barry Swanson will host annual meeting of
It's a big one. International Preservation Society tomorrow night.
Some of us just complain about it. We're like, no, we're not going to be influenced by peer pressure. If everybody jumped off a cliff, would we jump off a cliff? Of course not. We're too independent, too self-reflective. We're not like that. We wouldn't buy something just because, I don't know, an influencer starts to use it or a gorgeous person recommends it. No, you're not like that at all. But the new year gives us a chance to take advantage of some pent-up energy associated with social and behavioral dynamics. Yes, instead of just complaining about it, let's learn to use it for our advantage. New year, new you. Hi, I'm James Callahan, and this is the Do-Over Show, where we look for every opportunity to take advantage of things that will make our do-over, more successful. And this energy associated with New Year and New Year's resolutions and do-overs and zeroing out on January 1st actually can be applied to just about any significant life event. Your birthday, an anniversary, something horrible happens in your life, somebody important dies, or maybe there's a change in job, maybe there's a finishing something like finishing school. It can be anything, and it doesn't just have to happen at midnight on December 31st. It can happen on any day throughout the year. So the energy that we experience associated with New Year's, you can apply it to any time of this year, any time of your life to start your do-over. So let's jump right in with the negative. Yeah, we're not going to be influenced by social pressures and influences because, we're better than that. Well, that's fine. You can complain about it all you want. But first of all it's going to do is take away your energy, part of your energy, what you can benefit from, that pent-up energy, the behavioral dynamic that everyone around us experiences. Yeah, everybody makes resolutions. Most of them, like 80, 90%, drop by the end of the first month. January's over, so are the resolutions. I get it. But instead of complaining about it and missing out on it, maybe there's a better way to take advantage of the energy, the social and behavioral influences that are associated with times of reset and do-over. And it all has to do with learning how to frame or tell our story better. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're a smoker and you decided you're going to quit smoking. You're standing outside work one day and someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, do you want a cigarette?" Now you have two choices about how to reply. The first reply, most common reply, is, "Nah, I'm trying to quit." That keeps you in the category of a struggling smoker. It's not the identity you want. It's not the future identity that you hope to have. And yet we narrate it in such a way that, yep, I'm stuck. I can't get out of this. The alternative is to say, when someone offers you a cigarette and you're trying to quit, you say, "No, I don't smoke." That simple turn in narration is what social and behavioral psychologists call reframing. And reframing it so that, fake it till you make it and all that. But reframing it gives you a different kind of energy. It gives you the ability, now you have to betray who you want to be if you take the cigarette. That is, learning how to frame our story in a better way. Nope, I invest my money rather than someone who spends money. You can multiply this in all the areas of your life where you want to change or subtract or add to your life. But learning how to frame our story in not only a more positive light, I'm not talking about getting a hold of the universal energy associated with it. I'm talking about learning how to tell a better story about who we want to be in order to realize our goals. So reframing, stop complaining. Now let's get to some of the specifics. What are the kind of things that you can do that I'll give you examples from my life, what I've been doing. And they didn't all start on December 31st of last year and click in automatically this year. No, these are things that are added at a time when I decided, no, I'm going to add these things. That is a significant life event or an opportunity I had, a change in work situation from an office to working at home, whatever it is, we have an opportunity to add something, to do something, and to take advantage of some new energy. The easiest thing, I joined the 100 push-up a day club. Yep, 100 push-ups every single day. Whether it's 10 times or whether it's 25 4 times, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter when it happens during the day, first thing in the morning, middle of the day, after work, doesn't matter when it happens. But I started to do it every single day. Now, when you join this club, you're going to be tempted like people who, for example, are in CrossFit. How do you know someone's in CrossFit? They tell you. Same with keto. How do you know? They tell you. You don't go around bragging, I do 100 push-ups a day, but you do it as something that has a small advantage because you've decided you're going to add this new thing to your life. The next thing I did was I gave myself another raise. As of January 1st of this year, I increased 20% to 25%. I invest, I pay myself first before I start paying other people for goods and services that I ask for in my life. So I take that. Now, that means that I've progressed to a point in my life where I'm actually able to live on less. So as I make more, I end up taking more and paying myself more. So I gave myself a raise. That's the kind of thing that can be added and that we can stick to like a resolution, and it can actually compound benefits to us as the year goes on. Next thing, I started replacing retail therapy with investment therapy. You're feeling bad, you're not sure, you just got time, or you're bored, and so you decide to go shopping, Target, wherever. Now, instead of doing that, instead of just scrolling through Amazon saying add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, I started the discipline of, if I look at something, I'm like, maybe I'll buy that. And then at that moment I said, no, here I'm going to try something. I'm going to take the money that I would have spent on that item, whatever it is, $2, $5, instead of spending on dozens and dozens of small, insignificant items that break or throw away or forget or are useless. It's sort of like dollar store therapy where you go because, look, I can buy 20 things for $20. But those 20 things for $20 probably going to break and not going to do you much good through the year. Instead, I went from retail therapy to investment therapy. I took the $20 or I took whatever it is I was thinking about spending and I invested it. I didn't save it. I invested it. That's the other big change, is that I stopped talking about saving money like I'm taking back something and hiding it or hoarding it. And instead, I put it to use for me so it can make money while I sleep. It can grow even when I am not working those hours. So I take the money and I invest it. That's part of this investing in yourself. So retail therapy to investment therapy. You might want to give it a try. The next thing that's happening is this upcoming semester, I teach as an adjunct in a local university. I get 2 courses, and what I'm going to do is they're repeat courses. They were a new prep last year and the year before, but they're both repeated. Now, what that means is that I pay myself more for those courses because I've stopped over preparing. I've done my initial preparation where between class time, grading papers, the syllabus, and building out the lectures and presentations and discussions for the class, I was paying myself less than $20 an hour for that course. And that's making $3,800 per course for a 4-hour course. So now that's not a new prep. I do the syllabus, one and done. I do a couple evaluations, I grade a couple papers, and I actually have the class time, which means I'm going to go from under $20 per hour for teaching this course to over $75 an hour for teaching this course. Now, it's still a time commitment, but I've tripled the amount of money I'm getting paid to do this course because I've learned the lesson of not over preparing. Now, if you're doing a side job or if you're doing work where you're paid by the hour, but you can learn to do it in, say, half the time. First time you try something, it may take you an hour. Next time, it shouldn't take you an hour. It should take you 45 minutes or 30 minutes, or you work it down so that you're able to do the same level of productivity in less time. That's how you give yourself a raise and how you give yourself more time so that you can do more, either to get paid more or to reserve that time for yourself, to use it to your advantage. Oh, and one more thing, and that is I've started to increase the amount of time I've scheduled ahead a daily post on a WordPress site, James Callahan Words and Poetry. Yep, I write poetry, prose, fiction, and I put it out there on a daily basis. It's a discipline I started over 4.5 years ago, and I've got a consecutive streak of over 1,600 consecutive days. Now, that means I use the scheduler. I rework poetry, I write new poetry, and yeah, I repurpose it, and I rewrite it, and I repost it, so that I built up this habit. And what I'm doing now is extending it out so that I'm 30, 45, 60 days out, and I add or revise or schedule new things to appear. Now, what this does is it gives me this sort of ongoing longevity. It gives me a practice that actually becomes a habit. And I'm going to do a video on that next, on adding habits and developing habits and how to add habits rather than just subtract them. And make sure you check back for that video because it'll give you the details, the specifics about how I'm able to do something every single day for over 4.5 years and not miss a single day. It's an interesting idea. So what is it that you're going to do? What kind of resolution, what kind of do-over, what kind of start are you going to add? Why don't you leave it in the comments and let other people know? Let's encourage one another. Just throw your ideas out there because we all benefit from them. And I promise I'll respond to every single comment. And thanks so much for being part of the Do-Over Show. Please, could you tap the like button because it really helps. And while you're down there, how about you subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. I'm so glad you found me and I found you. Thanks.